Hello everyone, welcome to Professional IAS. Today we will throw some light with regard to the Telangana state economy, and this particular lecture is completely dependent upon the budget speech and the budget document, and this also shows us the state of economy of our Telangana. So here one point you have to remember, there are two important concepts that you have to understand. First is the document presents some data with regard to 2022 to 2023 fiscal year. Then we also have data with regard to 2023 to 2024. Then another year which we are in the present financial year is this one. So this particular year data is not yet, we do not have it because we are still in the financial year only. So whatever the data that we are having in this document is presented for 2022 to 2023 and 2023 to 2024. This point you have to remember. The values of the GSDP at current and constant prices is also based on this data. The growth rate of our economy, of how much growth rate, what percent of growth rate happened, this also is based on these 2 years only. Okay, this year data is not there, will not be present because we are in the same financial year. Apart from this, you have to also see that the data with regard to these 2 years is also given for India's average and also given for Telangana. These points you keep in mind for the lecture to come up. Okay, so let us start our discussion. If you see the discussion over here, in the fiscal year 2023 to 2024, the GSDP of the state has shown an increase in current prices. Means with regard to the value, the GSDP of Telangana grew by 13 lakh crore. It was in 2022 to 2023, grew to 14 lakh crore in 2023 to 2024. So 2022 to 2023, it was 13 lakh crore. 2023 to 2024, it is 14.5 lakh crore. Please remember this point. So we have learned it. So at current prices, the Telangana GSDP has grown. It is very clear about it. Let us talk about now growth rate. Okay, if you see the Telangana state GSDP growth rate, 2022 to 2023, the growth rate was 14.7%. Whereas 2023 to 2024, the growth rate is around 11.3%. It means from this year to this year, the growth rate has declined. That is what they are also saying to us, that our Telangana state GSDP has shown a downward trend with regard to the growth rate. It means it does not mean the growth did not happen. Growth happened, but in 2022 to 2023, the growth rate was higher, whereas in 2023 to 2024, it is lesser. This point only you have to remember here. Okay, fine. Clear. Now if you see with regard to the national average, the growth rate also has shown declining trend with regard to the national average also. So in 2022 to 2023, the national average growth rate was around 16.1%, whereas 2023 to 2024, it is around 8.9%. So with regard to the growth rate, India's growth rate is very, very sharper than Telangana's growth rate. So Telangana's growth rate is little bit stable in double digit only, 14 became 11, but India's growth rate is not so good. It is like became half of what was there in 2022 to 2023. In 2022 to 2023, India's average growth rate was 16.1%, whereas in 2023 to 2024, it became 8.9%. For the same year, we are only 2 plus percentage less. That's all. Okay. But however, if you see it very clearly, so Telangana has grown by 14.7% in 2023 to 2024, whereas India's average is 16.7%. If you minus this one, you will get 2.4%. So at the current prices in the latest financial year, Telangana growth rate is 2.4% higher than India's GDP growth rate. So if you do 14.7, okay, and 16.1%, if you do in this way, so it will come to around 2.4%. Okay, so Telangana growth rate is around, not this 14.1%, you have to do this one, 11.3%, because these are the current year now, 11.3%, 8.9% if you do. So here it is very clear that in 2023 to 2024, this is India's GDP growth rate. This is Telangana GSDP growth rate. If you do the minus, Telangana state growth is 2.4 percentage higher than India's GDP growth rate. I hope this is all clear to you. Now, if you see at constant prices, Telangana growth rate has declined by 1 percentage points to 6.5% in 2023 to 2024. So nothing but if you see it very clearly, here if you properly see it, in 2022 to 2023, the growth rate of Telangana was around 7.5%. Okay, 7.5. Whereas 2023 to 2024, it is around 6.5. 7.5 minus 6.5, 1 percentage decrease. So at constant prices, Telangana GSDP growth rate has decreased by how many percentage points? 1 percentage points. Could be an example, could be in a question on this particular data also. Whereas if you see the India's growth rate with regard to if you see with respect to constant prices, increase in growth happened marginally at 0.1%. Okay. So at India's level, there is a marginal growth rate happen, 0.1%. But we are getting 1%. So our growth rate at constant prices is 1%. India's growth rate is only marginal, 0.1%. Very, very important. The statements will come like that. GSDP of Telangana is higher than India's GDP. Wrong, because in value, India is cumulative of all state. And now the GSDP growth rate of Telangana is higher than India's growth rate. Right. Both at current prices and constant prices, Telangana's GSDP growth rate is higher than India's average GSDP growth rate. These minimum points you have to remember. Okay. Now if you see why there is a discrepancy with regard to the current and constant prices, you might have already learned in your basics. The differing growth rate. Okay. The differing growth rates at current and constant prices is always attributed to what? Higher rate of inflation. And if you see it very clearly, the document says that in Telangana, the prices of goods and services is higher than the national average. Means in Telangana, the prices of goods and services are increasing faster than the average inflation rate of the India. So this is a very important point. This is further evidenced by higher consumer price index in Telangana, which stood at 6.6 percentage points in December 2023, placing the state fifth in the country in terms of inflation rate compared to what? India's 5.69. So India's average inflation means out of 100 rupees, the inflation after a year or 3 months, it will become what for India? India's average will be 100 rupees will become 105 rupees, whereas Telangana 100 rupees will become 106 rupees. I am telling you overall. I am doing the round figure and telling you. So if you see it very clearly, it is properly written here that Telangana's growth rate of inflation is higher consumer. Telangana. Wait a second. Right. Here you can see higher consumer price index in Telangana when compared to what? India. Telangana consumer price index means the price index is nothing but it is a basket of commodities and the price attached to that particular basket. So if you see our basket of whatever the commodities prices is there, it is around increased to 6.65%, whereas India's is only very, very less. And with regard to rate of inflation, Telangana stands fifth. Very important data for the examination point of view. Please remember. Now, if you see the sectoral growth rate, in the fiscal year 2023 to 2024, Telangana economy demonstrated very, very, very good performance across various subsectors. The primary sector, notably the agriculture sector, has shown a notable decline. Little bit decline happened with regard to growth rate of agriculture sector. The gross value added in the crop subsector decreased from 49,000 crores in 2022 to 2023 to 45,000 crores in 2023 to 2024. Okay, with regard to the cropping sector, okay, we have seen what? Decline. 45,000 crores we have generated in 2023 to 2024. Okay, whereas in 2022 to 2023 we generated 49. So in 2022 to 2023, 49, 2023 to 2024, 45. So almost around 4,000 crore rupees of decline happened with regard to cropping sector. Clear? Because of this drop only, because the agriculture sector has performed like this, so we have seen a negative growth rate in agriculture sector to the extent of minus 6.8%. Very important point for the examination. So they may ask you that which the Telangana agriculture sector has shown dash growth rate, that is nothing but negative growth rate. Okay, and why this actually decrease in the value happen, decrease and negative growth rate in agriculture happen? It is because of the monsoons are not well. So adverse seasonal conditions that we have to bear. Not good amount of rainfall Telangana has got. That is the reason. So we have seen decline in agriculture GSDP also and agriculture growth rate in negative. If you see the rainfall scenario, the southwest monsoons was delayed by 17 days of rainfall we did not get, and the delay of 17 days happened with regard to the rainfall. And there is a large fluctuations in the rainfall also. Sometimes the rainfall is coming for 10 days, then 5 days it is not coming, sometimes coming for 2 days, again not coming. So erratic, irregular scarcity, or you can say that erratic, irregular and not uniform rainfall happen across the Telangana region. That is why the agriculture GSDP decreased, and also the, you can see here, and it went into negative growth rate. Notably, during the critical stages of crop growth in August and October, rainfall was markedly deficient. So when it is the Kharif, June and July, the Kharif season will begin. So this is basically a sowing season, and the actual season of germinating and getting the grains is start from August. Okay, August, September. So September, October is the years where the crop will mature, and in these 2 months only we have seen very deficient rainfall. That is the reason the yield of the crop has become less in agriculture sector, leading to overall negative growth rate. And these conditions did not even went back very easily. Prolonged dry spell means you can see that dry spell was anyhow there a long, like 10 days rainfall was not actually happening. Not only that, the document says groundwater depletion is happening very rapidly. Insufficient water levels are there in the Krishna basin, leading to drastic reduction in the sown area of key crops such as paddy, cotton, maize, red gram, Bengal gram. These are the key crops, main important crops. Nothing but most of the farmers grow these crops in our state. So because of the already we have seen dry spells, means rainfall was not proper. Along with that groundwater depletion, we are seeing insufficient water levels are there in the Krishna basin, and that all led to what drastic reduction in the sown area of the key crops. Okay, that is the reason the overall agriculture sector has suffered. If you see the secondary and tertiary sector of Telangana economy, they also saw a decline in the growth rates. Notably, decrease was observed in sectors like electricity, gas and water supply. Okay, electricity, gas and water supply constitute the industrial sector subsectors. Whereas if you see this one, trade, repair, I will change the color. Okay, trade and repair services, hotel and restaurants, railways, air transports, this constitute what? Service sector. So both industry sector, in industry sector, electricity, gas and water was affected. Whereas in service sector, trade and repair services, hotel and restaurants, railways and air transport, these sectors got affected. Because of these sectors got affected and did not yield that much of value contribution to their respective sectors. Okay, industry and service sector has seen what? Decline in growth rates. Okay. But a good news here is the manufacturing sector. Means within the industry sector, you might be aware of it. We are having construction sector, manufacturing, electricity, gas and water supply. Electricity, gas and water supply, we already saw that has shown declining trend. Whereas manufacturing sector has shown a contracting trend. Manufacturing sector has grown by 5.9%. Okay, it was just 1.3% in the previous fiscal of 2022 to 2023. The manufacturing sector grown by 1.3%, whereas 2023 to 2024 it grew by 5.9%. Okay, and if you see here, real estate and all of the industrial sector, real estate, construction and mining and quarrying also experience higher growth rates compared to the preceding years. So in the industrial sector, if you see, Okay, in the industrial sector, if you see, concentrate here very clearly. Industrial sector, construction, manufacturing, electricity, gas and water supply, this has decreased, whereas construction, real estate have increased, manufacturing has increased. So they may ask you in the examination that which one of the following subsectors of industrial sector has shown declining trend, means electricity, gas and water supply. Which sectors have shown what positive or growing trends? Construction, in construction, real estate, okay, even mining also, I forgot here, mining is also has increased. Okay, this is